Hi there, and welcome to our next E327 conference post-mortem. This time we're looking at Bethesda. Joining me this time we have Corazon de Leon again. Say hello, Cora.
Hi everyone.
We have Peds back with us again. Say hello, Peds.
Hello.
And we have Super Dragon 64 returning as well. Say hello, Dragon.
Hello.
So third conference of the show. The smallest, certainly shortest conference of the show, only 45 minutes long. But I think they still had some decent enough stuff to show, so we're just gonna go through it as normal, start to finish, and then kind of talk about what we've seen. So, ignoring the wee video that they played at the start, where all the kids of the Bethesda kind of staff kind of went, "Oh, my mum and dad works for Bethesda." The first thing they kind of really showed was their kind of VR offering. Specifically, they showed two games. They showed Doom VFR and Fallout 4 VFR. Now, Peds, let's start with you, man. What did you think? Any interest in the VR offerings that they showed there?
Well, I'm not so much interested in Fallout 4 VR. I have Fallout 4 and I haven't played much of it. But Doom VR is appealing because I love Doom so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that I'll get a VR headset at some point to play some games, and Doom would be one that I would buy pretty sharpish.
Yeah,
Love Doom.
yeah, no, definitely. I think both of them looked good. For me, Doom I felt looked a little bit clunky. Just in terms of the movement, because it's one of those, points where you want to go and then you kind of teleport there, kind of movement schemes rather than, just kind of free movement. So that looked a little bit clunky, although it did seem to give you the option of, telefragging bad guys, which was kind of cool. So I'm not 100% convinced by Doom. Fallout 4, I think, yes, I'm quite happy to go back and play that, in VR again, so that would be kind of cool. But yeah, so it looked okay. I think they didn't say in the conference, but I think it's been confirmed that that's for both PC and PSVR. So it's if you've got a PSVR, it's definitely going to be an interesting thing to look at. Cora, what do you think? Have you got a headset? Have you got any interest in getting a headset? And if not, do these games change your mind?
I didn't have any interest in getting a headset before I heard about Doom. Doom is the best. It's the game of the generation for me. I love it. I've played it to death like half a dozen times already. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So I think, as you say, it looks a bit clunky at the moment, but if they can iron that out, it's a day one for me. I would pay for a PS4. I would pay for the VR for that, for the VR headset for that. It looks good. And it's Doom. Doom's, man, I can't talk highly enough about it. It's Doom. Fallout 4, I can take a leave, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Doom. I mean, I agree. Doom has been absolutely fantastic. It's easily been one of the best games I've played this generation, and even on my PC, which is kind of aging, it still runs really, really well. It's fast, it's brutal, it's everything that you wanted from Doom, and then they managed to, bring it back with some modern kind of additions to it, which really, really worked. I think maybe it was the fact that because the movement is, that kind of point-to-point teleportation, it looked clunky because you don't have that movement. You're standing still in a corridor shooting demons rather than strafing around them or running and shooting and jumping, and so maybe that's why it looked a bit clunky. But yeah, hopefully they can iron that out. Dragon, what about you? Because I know at one point you were going to get a Vive, were you not?
Yeah, I cancelled it because Digital River made an appalling show with shipping them out. So
that's right.
I decided that, I had to call them back to get them to retry my purchase order, but I couldn't be bothered to stay on hold. Especially given that, I felt like if I'm spending £800, I shouldn't be waiting around on hold. It should be more efficient. Give me an email, give me a website or something. So that just made me think, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for it to develop. But seeing Doom, I was looking at Vives this morning, and given that there's rumors of Vive 2, as soon as that comes out, I'll buy that and I'll buy Doom, and Fallout's the icing on the cake because I've not played it. So it looks like it'd be a good way to experience it. And then you've got all the titles that have come out since, like Batman, and hopefully the Battlefront X-Wing mission comes to PC as well. So yeah, that would look great.
Yeah, I mean, and not to kind of go too far down the kind of VR rabbit hole, but certainly for me, and I think I mentioned this to you guys previously, Star Trek Bridge Crew, which it just seems like it's a multiplayer game about having conversations with people. Essentially, it's you telling people what to do. So I think VR's it's definitely edging towards that kind of place now where it's doing quite well. Certainly, I think they said PSVR sold over 1 million units, so it's definitely expanding and getting there slowly, but it's getting there. So yeah, VR games from Bethesda, two of their most popular games. Looks good. I'm quite happy to give them a shot at some point. Which kind of they then moved on to talking about Elder Scrolls Online and their new big kind of push on that with the addition of Morrowind and a few other new small areas. Now, traditionally, I don't really play massively multiplayer online games myself, so it doesn't really do much for me at the moment. Although I will say I have recently been kind of thinking about dipping into it. What about you guys? Have any of you guys spending any time playing Elder Scrolls Online at all? Dragon.
Oh, I briefly tried it with Peds during a free weekend, but didn't really get far into it. I've also been tempted to go back into it recently, especially with the Morrowind expansion pack. But really, I don't think that I can't really. I don't feel like I can justify starting another MMO. So if I were to play one, I'd just resubscribe to Final Fantasy. But it does look great. And maybe one day. I mean, I still got literally not played in the other Elder Scrolls games, so I'd probably go to them first. That's another thing that keeps me from Elder Scrolls Online. I'm more inclined to go for them first, but it does look great, and it's very accessible in that there's no subscription fee to pay, and there's a lot of content.
Yeah, definitely. Cora, what about you? Any interest in Elder Scrolls Online?
So a friend of mine, I was away last weekend. A friend of mine spent the whole weekend sort of extolling the virtues of Elder Scrolls Online, going on about all the different class systems and how good it was and how he wanted to get it. And he sold it to me really well. So I think that within the next month or so, I will actually buy it, but probably for the Xbox. Is it on the Xbox? I don't actually know, but
I think so.
Yeah, I will be getting it in the near future. I'm hoping that I enjoy it as much as he's put it out to me, because I love the Elder Scrolls. So it's definitely a very attractive prospect for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll say this. I mean, Bethesda have done a very good job of making their Elder Scrolls games feel like specific places, so that when when Elder Scrolls Online comes along and goes, right, okay, we're adding Morrowind to that makes people go, fucking brilliant, Morrowind, especially because Morrowind was such a distinctive kind of landscape compared to Oblivion and Skyrim, which were kind of like hills and mountains and just mountains respectively. Morrowind had a very strange look to it, in terms of the things like the Silt Striders and all the weird kind of growths around the place that give it a very distinct look. So I think it's a testament to them that just saying, yeah, we're adding this location is a big deal for them. So yeah, I mean, definitely, it's like I said, it's something I've been interested in myself recently. That thinking about dipping into it. And Peds, finally, what about you? Anything to take away from Elder Scrolls Online?
Well, I've only played it like a little bit with Dragon, as he said, and we played it for a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta go because I'm falling asleep." And then we didn't play any more of it after that. But the only thing that I thought when they showed Morrowind was, isn't it already out? Why are they showing it again? So that's what I took away from it, because it's already out.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. Morrowind is I think it came out a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? A month or so ago.
Yeah.
But I think obviously it's still pretty new for them, so they're wanting to kind of really push that as well. And I think they did show that there was some other kind of small new areas coming to it as well. So I think they kind of tied it all in with that. So yeah, Elder Scrolls Online looking okay. Yeah, there's definitely some interest there, I think. And then they kind of went down the kind of talking about the mod support that they've added for like Skyrim and Fallout 4, and how basically what they're doing is they're bringing in something called the Creation Club, for these games. Now, my kind of takeaway from it was that it was basically almost like a mod shop, where you can go in and you can buy, mods and other, models and content and stuff for these games. However, that it's stuff that's specifically been curated by, the developers, so they've went through the mods, they've made sure they're compatible, that, it's not going to mess up any of your save games. And I think it's an interesting way to do it, but for me, it still kind of boils down to it's you're paying for mods. Cora, what about you? I mean, what do you think about that?
I'll tell you what worries me every time I hear about sort of Bethesda and Bethesda-related online shopping models is horse armor. I always go back to being charging funny money for things that they shouldn't really be charging for. Mods, community mods, should they be paying for? Really? I like the idea of a free, like the old sort of Counter-Strike stuff. You can get like free mods for the community, by the community. It's interesting, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they are going to do it, then the way that they seem to be positioning this one seems to be probably the best way to do it. Whereas you'll still have your free mods, the other things that you've got at the moment, you'll still be able to get them for free and do what you need to do. But these ones are specifically kind of made in conjunction with the teams at Bethesda, so they, like I said, they've gone through to make sure that they are fully compatible with the main game. So that if you install this mod, it's not going to mess up all your save games and stuff like that, for example. So I can kind of see if that's the way they're going with it, then okay, fair enough. I can kind of see why there might be some need for a kind of charge for it. Because what did I notice? You pay for them with credits, so it's a slippery slope again. I mean, as long as they're not, holding content that would otherwise have came from the community for free hostage, then that's fine. And it is stuff that's built specifically for this and with this in mind, then I don't see it being too big a problem. But yeah, it's always a kind of a tricky one with that. Peds, what have you got to? What do you think about that?
To be honest, there's not much to say about it other than what's been said. Is as long as it's not affecting stuff that would normally be free, then I don't really see a problem with it.
Mm-hmm. And Dragon, what about you? You got anything to add to that?
I feel it's a delicate subject because of decades of free mods, but content creators are entitled to charge for their work, and I think that this is probably, like you said, the best way of making that feasible. And I think once people get over the initial reaction of paying for mods, as long as they realize what comes with payment, in that you should get support and you shouldn't be buying something that doesn't work, they should find that it is worth the purchase. It wouldn't be worth. There's no point. This won't work if you can pay for something that doesn't work. The consumer law around this is murky at the best of times, but it's not the huge pitfall that it seemed back when it was first trialed on Steam.
Yeah.
So I think that it could work, and people need to be a bit more receptive to it. And I don't think that will be the death of free mods, just that it could actually cultivate better mods, because people may find more of an incentive to spend time and money in bigger projects. It's great that we see things like Skywind coming out for free, but then look at how much progress has been made on the Wii U emulator when that went to Patreon.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's, like you said, it's a tricky one to look at, especially when you then start going down the roads of things like CMU and that for Wii U emulation, and then paying for it via Patreon. That it kind of opens up kind of different doors that I don't really want to go down today. But certainly, yeah. I mean, it's a different way of doing it, I think, and whether or not it works or not, it's, I suppose, down to the community in the end. If they accept it or not. So yeah, we'll see kind of what happens with that. And then after that, there was more Elder Scrolls stuff. It was Elder Scrolls Legends, which is their kind of, Hearthstone style card game, which is getting new content and modes, coming out on the Android and iPhone platforms next month. And then what looks to be a Heroes of Skyrim expansion coming on the 29th of June. So, yeah, any interest in that at all? Is there anybody who plays any of these kind of card games?
Nope.
I don't play it, but I did look at the trailer and it does look interesting. So
Mhm.
I'll download it onto my phone, and if it doesn't kill my battery, I'll play it for a little
Yeah.
bit and see if maybe it's something to do on the train
Yeah, I mean,
when I don't have my Switch.
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same. I don't really play these kind of card games. They've never really been the kind of thing I get into myself, so it's not something that I'm too interested in. But certainly, if you like those kind of games, I suppose it did look pretty good, and yeah, probably worth taking a look at. And then moved on to something I was actually quite surprised to see within this, because I didn't think we would see anything of this until Nintendo's direct on Tuesday, which was Skyrim on the Switch. And to be fair to them, they only spent maybe about a minute or two on it, with a brief trailer. But the main kind of takeaways from it are that it's got amiibo support built into it. Specifically, they showed one of the Zelda amiibos, and it's got motion control support if you want it. So yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised to see that. And I will say, when they showed the amiibo support, I was kind of like, oh my god, that's so cool. But what about you guys? Is it enough to kind of make you buy Skyrim again?
Nope.
Peds? Nope.
Nope. It's not that I've got a problem with Skyrim. I enjoyed Skyrim, but I've got 3 versions of it already. I need to have a bit of restraint and not buy the same game over and over again. Unlike some people who will probably buy it again.
To be fair, it will only be my second purchase because I bought the complete edition just before the special edition came out, so I got the special edition for free.
That's fair
And
enough.
I didn't actually ever play it. I mean, my main purpose for buying that version when I did was to play a mod called, I think, Endrial.
Endral.
Yes, Endrial, that's it. And I played a bit of that. I need to go back to it, but yeah, I mainly bought it to play that mod, and so I get the special edition for free. And given that I've got literally hundreds and over 1,000 games to play on, in my Steam account, I won't get around to Skyrim anytime soon, so it's more likely that I'll play through it on the Switch. So if there's nothing else coming around that time for the Switch, mainly Xenoblade, I probably will pick it up. If Xenoblade's out, I'll have to push it down towards the end next year. But the motion controls look great. I really like how they work in Zelda, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they work in Skyrim. And amiibo support is always fun.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised, Dragon. You'll buy anything multiple times, you absolute weirdo. But that said, I am kind of thinking I might double dip on it myself. Simply because I only bought the base version of Skyrim. I never bothered with any of the DLC or any of the upgrades. So I never got the upgrade to the special edition when it came out because of that. But I would quite like to be able to take Skyrim on the go, and so there's definitely an element of that. So for me, the amiibo support is a nice addition to help sweeten that. Plus, to be honest, I want to support games like this on the Switch. From my point of view, the more this sells, the more likely it is Bethesda are going to put more games out on the Switch. So, and I like Bethesda games, so the more they put out on it, the more likely we are to see more. So, definitely considering getting this. What about you, Cora? Do you have a Switch, Cora?
I don't have a Switch yet. It's on my to-do list. I'm glad it's coming out on the Switch. I think it's. I was going to say I think it's more aimed at people who have only got a Switch and aren't really thinking about getting the collector's edition on any other console. Until I heard Dragon talk, until you spoke about getting the double dip on it, but. Motion controls don't really interest me, but I'm torn between wanting to support more Bethesda games on the Switch and preferring probably to get it on the Xbox when I eventually pick up one of the remastered editions. I like it. I think it's a really good idea. we'll see. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how I feel when the time comes, and if I've got any spare money, whether or not I indulge myself.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I should kind of couch what I said in the fact that for me, while I am thinking I'm going to double dip on it, it does depend on the price. I'm not going to be paying 50 quid for it again.
That's absolutely number one sensibility for me, I think.
Yeah, I think 30 to 35 is the most I would even consider for it, but ideally I would like it to be less, especially when they're selling the special edition for the price that it's going for on the Switch.
I think the Switch version is the special edition, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure
from what they've
said
shown, from what the video that they showed, it didn't look like the special edition, and the box art image I've seen doesn't say it's the special edition. I think they've said it's not the base version, so I think it has been tarted up a little bit, but it's not special edition levels of polish, yes, because the Switch can't handle it. Yeah, the Switch couldn't handle the special edition kind of level visuals. I don't think it could. So I would be very, very surprised if it is. Which again, like I said, kind of reinforces for me that it has to be 30 to 35 at most when it comes out.
I would agree with that.
I think that's the biggest problem with Skyrim. Is it's going to be a hard sell. Unless it's cheap, it's going to be a very hard sell because people have probably played it on 360, PS3, PC, PS4, Xbox One. It's an old game now.
Yeah, well, it's about 5 years old now. It's not new by any stretch of the word. So yeah, it's what they can get away with, and if they price it right, they'll sell plenty of them because there'll be plenty of people like myself who'll be happy to double dip to get it on the move, as well as getting people who maybe didn't bother with a PS3 or a PS4 or an Xbox, who only maybe had Wii U's. So
I think that's the audience, isn't it? That's what they're kind of aiming to go for. But the problem Nintendo have always they've had for quite a long time is that for the bigger games, they do tend to come out later on Nintendo consoles, so they don't have the uptake that really the companies would be looking for. You can see that going right back to the N64. And I don't think Nintendo particularly have a problem with it, but I think it's a problem when they're looking for third-party support, so I'm really hoping it does well.
Exactly. I mean, it's and again, not to kind of go too far down the Nintendo rabbit hole with this, but yeah, it's the problem Nintendo has that while they don't really need too much third party support themselves, they do want some. But the problem the third parties have is that they put out games that people have either played already on other things, or that they don't buy because they're buying Nintendo games, and then they go, well, nobody's buying them on Nintendo consoles, so they stop putting them out.
Absolutely.
So that's part of the problem. But hopefully Skyrim does well enough for them. And like I said, I'm tempted to double dip on it partially to give them that support and say, listen, I will buy these things, keep bringing them to it. Because like I said, the more people buy them on the Switch, the more likely they are to make more for Switch. So I'm definitely interested to see that. Moving on, they showed a trailer for Dishonored. Death of the Outsider. Now, I'm assuming that's DLC for Dishonored 2. It never actually stated, but I'm assuming it's DLC rather than, or either that or it's like a standalone, kind of add-on campaign. Definitely I need to go back to Dishonored 2 myself because I haven't played too much of it, and I got it at Christmas, so I really need to spend more time with it. But what about you guys? Fans of Dishonored? Dragon?
Dishonored, the original Dishonored, is one of my favourite games. I felt really bad not buying it on launch or paying more for it, so I bought Dishonored 2 on launch, even though I hadn't finished the DLC from the original, just to support that franchise. So I'm expecting big things from this, even though 2 wasn't as good as 1. It did have a high bar to reach, so I can't fault it too much for that. Hopefully it won't have the technical issues that 2 did when it launched, but more Dishonored is definitely a good thing in my eyes. And if you like stealth games, if you like action games, if you like superpowers, if you like killing people, if you like sneaking, if you like any of these things, they're all in Dishonored. You have complete freedom. So if you like freedom in your games, get Dishonored, get the original, get the sequel, get the DLC, pre-order this. obviously, don't do all of them at once. Start with the original, but jump in. I feel a very underappreciated game that should be played by more people.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of those franchises where the first one kind of came out and did quite well, and then I think it's 2 had a much bigger push behind it. So and like I said, what I've played of 2, I've really really enjoyed, and like I said, I need to go back to it, but definitely good to see more from that. Cora, what about you? You a fan of Dishonored?
It came out right around the time I kind of dropped out of games for a while, and that's a real shame, because I've looked at it. So I watched a few videos, and I've seen the video for the new expansion for Dishonored 2. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the different things you can do in it. It's something I really really need to go back to, and I think I'm going to pick up Dishonored 2 in a few months' time and play through that and the new chapter that they've announced for it as well. It's a real shame I've not had the chance to go through it properly yet.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely worth picking up. To be fair, I think you can get the disc version of it fairly at a reasonable price these days. I'm sure I've seen it for about a tenner or so during the week, and I think it might be in Asda. So it's definitely worth kind of shopping about and seeing where you can get it for a decent price. But yeah, it's well worth checking out, definitely. And Peds, finally, what about you?
I'm not a big fan of Dishonored. I played the first one. I've tried to play it twice, and I get a certain distance in and stop. The reason is I don't like stealth, and I know that if you're stealthy in the game, you get a better ending, and so on and so forth. So I always try and play stealthy. Because I'm very bad at stealth, and I don't like stealth, it pulls me off the game, but I don't want to play it where I'm killing everyone. So I'm kind of in a catch-22 there. So I can't really fully engage in the game and enjoy it as much as I want to, because I want to play it a specific way that doesn't suit my play style.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's one of those things. I mean, you can't really do anything about that if you're not, and if you don't get on with stealth games, then Dishonored's not really going to change your mind. So yeah, it's a shame, because I mean it is really really good. But yeah, so that's coming out on the 15th of September. So definitely one to look out for if you're a fan of Dishonored. And then they showed off a trailer for Quake Champions. They're really kind of pushing it in the kind of esports arena by the look of things. The only thing they really added to that was that there's Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein's going to be playable within it, which I thought was pretty cool. Peds, I know you've played the beta for Quake Champions. What are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking it's going to be damn good to play. I've played the beta a little bit, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was awful at it, but it was still fun. So hopefully a couple of us can get it. We can play some team deathmatch against people and have loads of, because it's damn fun.
Nice. Yeah, I mean definitely. I think the beta's still going on, so I'll see if I can get a shot of it at some point, and then see if my PC can handle it. And if it can, I'll probably be playing that when it comes out.
I think I have 3 keys to spare, so I'll have a look.
Nice. I will definitely take one off you if you do. And Cora, what were you fan of Quake?
I like Quake. I'm not very good at arena shooters nowadays. I've lost a yard. My hands are in tatters, and I can't really deal with them anymore. So I'm not sure that a new Quake will do very much for me. But it looks good, and it looks like something I'd be quite interested in watching in the esports arena. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's it's a symptom for all of us. We're all getting a wee bit older, and our reflexes and our abilities in these kind of games are going, a little bit down the shitter. But certainly, it's something I'm looking forward to playing it. And definitely, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's fun to watch. And finally, Dragon, what about you? Any plans to play Quake?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was disappointed that it was going down the hero route, but the footage still looks fast and frantic, so I'll give it a fair shot when it comes out. And yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, that's it. I mean, like you said, I'm definitely overthinking how good I could be at it. I'll probably get destroyed, but it looks fun, and I'm definitely going to give it a go when it comes out.
Cool. So yeah, definitely some good interest there in Quake Champions. And that kind of brings us on to our second last kind of item for the evening, which was Evil Within 2, which I basically put down as lol, not for me, because I don't deal with scary games at all, and it looks creepy as fuck. But what about you guys? Peds, did you play the first one? Did you get any interest in the second?
I have played the first one, but I haven't finished it. But when they showed the Evil Within 2, I was like, next game I play when I finish the game I'm currently playing is going to be Evil Within. I want to play this. It looks awesome. I'm not a pussy.
I am.
I'm only kidding. But no, it looks fantastic. It looked really good. Very interesting. So I'm down for that. Most definitely.
Nice. So yeah, definitely. I know there was some interest in the forum, and just in general that it was coming. So look forward to seeing more of that. Dragon, what about you? Are you looking to discover the evil within you?
Nope.
So it's a maybe.
For the same reasons as you, Devin.
Yeah, like I said, I don't do well with games like that. Well, Cora, what about you, man?
I love horror games, which is weird because I hate horror movies. I like the Evil Within. I had the chance to play through it with a couple of guys off the forum when it came out. Just little bits and bobs here and there. And I'm really looking forward to the Evil Within 2. It's Shinji Mikami, so I don't think we can really do that much wrong in my eyes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that the first one did quite well, so I'm glad it's getting a sequel. And I thought the trailer was really well done, really well put together. So, but then I think Bethesda are really good at putting together trailers for their games. They make really, they're just really well put together. So yeah, that's looking good. And I think if you're a fan of the first one and scary games in general, then it's probably going to be worth checking out. And that is out on the 13th of October. Oh, sorry, Friday the 13th of October, which seems fairly apt.
Very providential, isn't it?
It really is. Which brings us to the biggest game that they had to show, and I think the one that myself and you, Cora, were looking forward to the most, which was Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, which just looks fucking brilliant. It doesn't look like it does anything particularly different from the last one, but that's all I wanted. All I want is more Wolfenstein: The New Order and the Old Blood. So yeah, I can't wait. Really can't wait for it. It looks absolutely crazy. It's just got loads of really cool stuff, and I loved the wee kind of almost like Lassie Come Home style, clip they played at the start with Liesel, the big Nazi robot dog. Just can't wait. Can't wait for it at all. Cora, we'll go to you first, because I know you wanted to speak about this one.
I'm really excited for this. I played Wolfenstein not long before I played Doom for the first time, and I always thought, I think Wolfenstein, the original, was kind of a precursor to the original Doom, and I think that it worked out the same way this time. I loved Wolfenstein, and I actually thought that it got a little bit overshadowed when Doom came out and just completely was incredible. So I'm really glad that Wolfenstein's got the chance now to come back with the sequel and just blow everything out of the water again, because the trailer looked amazing. Everything about it looks great. I love the first one. I love the additional content that came onto it. I love the setting. It's moved into 1960s now, I think. It just, everything about it is just so exciting to me. I cannot wait for this to come out. I'm like, more so I think than anything I've seen at E3 so far. This is the game for me, I think.
Yeah, I would have to agree with pretty much all of that. The first-person shooter I ever played was Wolfenstein 3D way back in the early 90s when I got my first PC. And I absolutely loved every minute of it. It was absolutely fantastic. And then, I think you're quite right. Doom kind of naturally overshadowed it. Because it was the the follow up to it, and then it just took it to the next level. But I still remember to this day being at school and this a guy telling me about this game that was better than Wolfenstein called Doom, and I told him to fuck off because he was talking shite. Nothing was better than Wolfenstein, and then obviously Doom came out. But yeah, I've been playing Wolfenstein since the first one. It's I think the only one I haven't played was the one that was just called Wolfenstein, like about 10 years ago.
The Xbox version, that one was a bit, that one was a bit wonky, I think. But other than that, it's been pretty much balls to the wall, brilliant all the way through.
Yeah, there's not been like a terrible one, or and for the most part they've all been really good. And then when I finally played the New Order, maybe about a couple of years ago, I was just like, this is fantastic. It's just unashamed, pulp Nazi slaughtering, and it's so much fun. And I think they really nailed the kind of alternate history vibe in the last one. The guns were amazing, the sound was fantastic, the writing was great. I mean, even the kind of story they had around it, and the characters were interesting, and they had some genuinely interesting moments. So yeah, I am so hyped for this. And then at the end, when they turned around and went, "Oh, by the way, it's out on the 27th of October," I was just like, "Oh my god, just hold me."
Yeah.
The
release date, release date being so soon was so good. I'm really glad that they've managed to get it out so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, so 4 months and I'll have that game. It's yes, please. Oh, so good. Plus, one thing I did like, and I kind of noticed it in some of the kind of gameplay footage they showed, was there's a bit where it clearly looks like you're in a wheelchair and you're rolling about just like blowing up Nazis, and just a small thing, but I really like that. So yeah, absolutely can't wait. Peds, what about you? Are you up for some Nazi slaughter?
Well, I haven't finished Wolfenstein: The New Order, which is another game that I'm going to be playing before Wolfenstein 2 comes out, because I've thoroughly enjoyed Wolfenstein: The New Order, but just never got around to finishing it. It's actually a game that I was streaming, so I'm definitely going back to it, and I thought it looked absolutely awesome. I take notes when I do these things, but all I put down for Wolfenstein was looking good.
Yes.
Because that's all you need to say, because it looked awesome. And it looks like it carries on the story well from the other one. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. So, yeah, I'm definitely up for some Wolfenstein, and I can't wait till it comes out.
Excellent. What about you, Dragon?
I'm definitely excited for it. It looks amazing. It reminded me that I need to play the New Order and the Old Blood, so I'll get those in the Steam sale. And I'd say this is day one purchase, but it's coming out the same day as Assassin's Creed, so I'm gonna have to weigh up which one I want more a bit closer to the time. It's a shame that everything's coming out on the same day or the same week, but oh well, something we'll have to give.
There's a lot of kind of stuff condensed into a very short period this year, it seems. But for me, there's no question about what my day one purchase is that day. It's going to be Wolfenstein. So yeah, just looks absolutely fantastic. Can't wait. Absolutely cannot wait.
It blew my fucking socks off, that game. I'm so excited.
Yeah, definitely. And just to get more of it's so good. I mean, I'm actually been sitting here thinking I need to re-download it and play it again. The last one, just because it was that good. So, hell yes. Whether or not they'll have anything that kind of matches the whole Nazis on the moon thing, I don't know. Because that bit in the first game was just so good.
Have you seen Iron Sky? I feel like it's knocked off.
Yeah.
It knocked off a few absolutely outstanding Nazi parody films.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
somehow made them into a coherent video game. I love the whole vibe of that of the Wolfenstein series.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it made perfect sense. It fit completely with the kind of tone they were going for. I can't fault it, and I think you said, Cora, it was the game you're looking forward to the most so far from E3, and yeah, for me it's top of the pile so far.
No question.
More so than Battlefront 2, more so than anything from the Microsoft conference. This is the one for me so far, and I absolutely cannot wait for it. So yeah, I mean, does anybody else get anything else they want to add for Wolfenstein?
It's going to be fucking awesome.
It really is. Goddamn Nazis. So that's going to be amazing. and that is, like we said, is out on the 27th of October this year, so just over 4 months away. Cannot wait. So yeah, I think the only other thing that they added right at the very end is that everything they showed on the show is out this year. It's out in 2017. So for me, the only question that raises is what have they got coming between the start of 2018 and E3 next year? So they have to have something somewhere. So that's maybe the kind of question that we're going to see. Do you think there's maybe any chance of seeing Elder Scrolls 6 later on in the year? I mean, they tend to release that or unveil that at the Game Awards, do they not?
I don't know. When was the last one? 5 years ago. When was Elder Scrolls 4 before it?
It was 5
2006.
years. Yeah, 2006. Yeah.
So yeah, it was 5 years
It is
between that.
possible,
We should have had Elder Scrolls last year, really, if it was following the same rotation. But I think that Elder Scrolls Online's put Elder Scrolls 6 to bed for a while yet. Maybe in 2 years.
Maybe. I think it's time for another Elder Scrolls. I think there's definitely one in the pipeline. I think that's one of the reasons why they've been pushing Skyrim and its remake so hard, is to kind of get people for a new Elder Scrolls. So I'm really hoping that sort of the Game Awards is the time that we see Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, I think that they have to have something coming reasonably soon, I think, because obviously the team seems to alternate between doing Elder Scrolls and doing Fallout. Fallout 4 was, almost 2 years ago now? So I think, they are kind of due for, at the very least, for, a kind of, here's a cinematic trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. And then, maybe in a year and a half, we'll see that at some point, so yeah, definitely some questions as to what Bethesda have got coming up in their kind of longer term future than there is for just this year. But so I think that was everything. Like I said, it was a fairly short conference, but had some really good stuff within it. So I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, just all that's left to do is to thank you guys for joining us. So thank you very much, and to thank all you guys for watching and listening. The next one after this will be probably the Ubisoft conference. So stay tuned for that, and just make sure and visit grk.co.uk, and we will join in the chat there. So say goodbye, guys.
Bye guys.
Goodbye.
And bye-bye. Catch you later. Bye.